in here. Yeah. So, what I would encourage you guys to do is try to be a leader when you can, right? 'Cause there's a difference. Like, I like riding horses, and honestly, there's some days I like just sitting on a horse. Maybe I used to have what's called a Sunday horse. Like, a Sunday horse is the horse I get out when I don't want to be monkeying around with a bunch of stuff. He's hopefully not spooky, bolty, rary, bucky, all the things, right? He's just a good citizen, right? Uh, because we all have maybe different horses, right? Well, maybe not all of us, but in a perfect world, we all got different horses. And trust me, I have some horses that are not Sunday horses. And then I have some horses that are definitely Sunday horses. Um, they're all a little different. And, that's if I'm going to have multiple horses, we got to have multiple types of horses, right? So we have horses that, your average person could sit on backwards on a couch uh, on a Sunday afternoon with zero experience, and they do just fine. And then we have horses out there that you'd be lucky to even like halter them properly if you didn't know what you're doing. There's a big variety of what we got. And we got lots of horses, say, kind of in between and stuff as well. So, um, but being a leader, right, versus just being a rider, and that's what we try to set up for my students. I think a lot of them, when they first show up to these clinics, they're not all of them, but quite a few of them are just in that riding slot. They're like, I'm just riding, and then what happens? They start reacting to the environment around them. They're like, remove the dogs, remove the flag, remove the cat. Oh, the cat's removing on his own. Uh, remove the cat. I put my rein on this horse and he just he's been getting kind of tuned up during these Facebook live sessions. I kind of just ride him for like 5 minutes and then I get on live here and talk to you guys for an hour. And this could be my new training method. Just give him 5 minutes and then air him out for an hour when he doesn't even need to be aired out. He's ready to go tonight. He's kind of like my head's down. I'm trotting. Let's go. He's so ready tonight. Is great. But that's leadership, right? He's not running off. He's like, let's go to work. He's like, I know what I get rewarded for, so let's go do it. Like he's looking forward to it. So many people, they're just like, oh, it just drives me crazy. Maybe I probably shouldn't say this here, but like they're always looking for excuses for their horse, right? They're like, he must be sick. He must be injured. He must be hurting. He must be in pain. He must have a sore foot. He must have a sore body. He must. Okay. Sounds like a lot of excuses to me. I don't know about you, but how many of you put a 1 in the chat if you got severe arthritis? Put a 2 in the chat if you got a sore back. Put a 3 in the chat if you got a bum leg. Put a 4 in the chat if you got a bum arm. Put a 5 in the chat if you've had a head injury. Put a 6 in the chat if you've had some sort of complications, cancer, some weird surgery or something. Put like, how many of us are dealing with shit, right? Who's got bad vision? Who's got bad hearing? Who's got bad all of the above? Put a 10 in the chat if you're like, dude, how did you know about all the stuff I got going on, right? And I'm not saying don't take care of your horse. What I'm saying is this: maybe try to train your horse a little bit. Try to get their mind and emotions a little bit stronger than they are today and see how many of these things they can overcome. If his back's just a little sore, you probably don't need to call 28 chiropractors and 3 vets. Okay. You could probably maybe learn to just ride him a little bit better. Get him a nicer saddle or something. Do some things to help his back and quit using it as this massive excuse. Now, awesome. Like, if he honestly has a bad back, yes, go fix it, take care of it. But if you're just using it as an excuse, like, oh, well, he just didn't listen to me at all today, and I touched his back, and that's why, it's like, no. How many of you are at work with a sore back and you're still doing your work? Okay. And I'm not saying torture your horse or anything like that. Just be realistic, right? If it's just a minor ailment, tell him to work through it. Tell him you'll get him fixed up and we'll work on it later. But that doesn't give him, I guess, what I'm getting at, an excuse to spook and buck and run off and bolt and rear and kick you and all these things that start happening just because, oh, well, I found the reason. He had an ulcer, so that's why he almost tried to kill me. Ulcer's not that big of a deal for trying to create death in the human. Okay. Probably, I don't know the science behind it, but I bet damn near every horse has some form of an ulcer. whether it's small or big or whatever. And yeah, ulcers are bad. And I'm not saying don't treat your ulcers. What I'm saying is just because he's got a little bit of an ulcer doesn't give him an excuse to kill you. Maybe just say, you know what? Don't touch my belly and let's have a conversation about it. Like, what I'm saying is, like, maybe they could learn to have better communication with you about things like, hey, just a heads up, my back is sore. Hey, just a heads up, I don't feel good today. And how do we know that? Well, we would know that through consistent behavior. And then when there's an inconsistency, we can analyze it better. What I'm not saying is your horse is a sack of shit most of the time, and then one day he goes catatonic and really screws you. Okay. We want to try to avoid those situations. Like, oh, my horse is just so average, and then one day he just smoked me. Okay. Those things are not necessary if you do this right. Like, are there exceptions to the rule? Yes. But I'm just trying to talk in general because honestly, there's not a lot of people that are going to talk to you straight up about horses. Okay. They're going to hide from it, twist it, turn it, do all these things. But how many of you in your daily life just have to deal with some things? Your back's sore, you got to show up to work anyhow. Your foot's sore, you got to show up to work anyhow. Your belly's sore, you got to be there for your family and your kids and all these things that are going on. Do you need to take 5 minutes and take an Advil and take a little rest? Sure, go do that. But then you got 5 minutes later, you got to be back at it, right? That's just life. And I am not saying do not take care of your horses. Like when someone like edits this down, like I'm not saying don't take care of them, but what I am saying is just kind of try to be realistic because this becomes reality in a hurry when you get on these horses, I guess is my point. And if you come at this in a way that's not realistic, you come at this in a fantasy way, you come at this unprepared, you come in here and you try to like do something with this animal. He really doesn't have a clear line of communication because you just read a little, I don't know, article on this little thing about how somebody did nothing and they got something. Like, that's great, but you better know that program. You better understand it because when this thing doesn't understand it, and he looks to you for some answers, it's probably going to get a little bit messy if you don't have the answers for him. Okay. So I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there, but uh, I had somebody message me today about their horse. Like, do you think she's scared? She also ran me over. I'm just like, well, she's not scared of you. If she's running you over, okay, she maybe is using the excuse of something else is more fearful. But if you've lived on the same property for 5 years, unless the cougar is actually on your back, what in the hell are you spooking at that's big enough of a worry that you need to run your owner over? Like, honestly. It's the same dogs there every day, the same fencing, the same birds flying by, the same wind, the same rain, the same fencing, the same truck, the same UPS guy pulling over. There is no reason to be so belligerently fake scared that you need to run your owner over. It's just not acceptable, you know? And, maybe that's just me speaking out loud, but I'm not saying I'd be hard on that horse, but good Lord, I'd want to be a little more clear. Be like, hey, this right here, this is off limits. I take care of you. I feed you. I house you. I give you friends. I buy you nice tack. All these things. I get you a matching bridle to match your blanket and a bigger trailer and all these things I do for you. Please don't run me over. And it's not even a please. It's just like this is not an option, right? But so they're looking for excuses. Do you think she's scared? Well, she might be, but she's not scared of the right thing. She should be in that instant, in that moment, she should be scared of you. And I don't mean kind of like fearful, but enough concern that she's like, you know what? I don't think I should run over the person that feeds me. I think I should take a half a second and think about this and go around her. Think about it. Fear, even if it was fear, don't run your owner over. Good Lord. And it takes a horse about one day to figure out who feeds it over the fence. Okay. That's the person not to be run over. But unfortunately, they don't all operate that way, those horses. You have to convince them through leadership. And that's what we're going to be talking about on Thursday night is different ways to be good, better leaders for our horses. Okay. So just something to think about. I'll probably wrap this up. I know you guys got probably more important things to do than hang out here while I ride this little horse around. But also keep in mind on what is it, Thursday also is the deadline for our early bird special. So if you've been sitting on the fence or whether you want to sign up for a horsemanship camp or clinic or all the things, best be checking your emails. And if you don't have email, email info at horseteacher, info at horseteacher.com. Say, yo, what's this early bird special thing? Or go to my Facebook page and scroll up and down, check a few links. You'll probably find those things. And if you're not sure, you can always reach out to us, messenger, whatever, and answer it. But essentially, anybody in the Northwest thinking of coming to a camp here at Horse Creek Ranch, we have every year an early bird special. So if you get in early, you get lots of cool things like access to one right away. You get free camping. You get free stalls. You get all the stuff at the camps. Plus, you get discounts on clinics, all for a package price if you sign up uh, by the 15th. It's a super cool deal because at the end of the day, too, I went to Home Depot the other day and I was like, oh, I'm going to buy a tape measure. Tape measures used to be like $5 or $10. And I know if you want a nice one, maybe 15 or something. They wanted like 35 or $40 for one tape measure. I about passed out. Not at the $40, but at the thought of, hey, I think I'm going to buy some stuff. I'm just going to keep buying. What? Are you kidding? That's like way more than double what it used to be. I was like, holy hell. So I got on Amazon. I found like two for 35. I was like, well, at least that makes me feel better. I'm going to get two of the same exact brand, same exact model, everything, same one. Um, and I was like, well, at least I'm getting two. But regardless, my point is, shit's getting expensive out there. We all understand this. So you got to kind of like, unless you got just a bunch of extra floating around, you got to kind of be careful with your dollar and things like that. We try to make things as cheap as we can for folks. Sometimes that means because the prices are a little cheaper, we get a few more people. But I tell you what, when we have big camps, God, they are the most fun. Because it's not like you have 10 cool people and 5 stupid ones. You got 15 super cool people. You might have one oddball, but they are fun still. I promise you, they're all good people that come out here. Because the ones that aren't good, like good people, they just don't last. They don't make it through this program. It's not because we kick them out. It's not because we don't believe them, but we're having so much fun. They don't want to be around us. Fun learning, fun enjoying each other, fun motivating each other, fun working through problems. That's a big thing. I talk to people. They're like, I didn't like going to so and so because when I did something, they just crucified me for being wrong. I notice when I'm with you, you encourage us to make mistakes so that we can work on them as a group and fix them. I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, one thing I do is and I don't see many people do this, and I'm not saying you should, but like I'll take a good horse that I'm riding and I'll purposely make a mistake on him just so you can see like how to work through things. And if I can't like have my horse make a mistake and then fix him and then get him better, like he's probably not worth riding anyhow. Like if you can't bounce him around a little bit. But I remember back in the day, I had this mare. Her name was Josie, and man, that thing was wrecked when I got her. I think I got her for like $100 or something. I don't even know. But she'd pull back, rip a fence out. She'd try to buck you off every other day. She'd bolt. She just had all the stuff on her. Couldn't hardly handle her feet, but she broke the ride. Like you get on her and ride her. And man, I would use her for those demos. I'd be like, don't do it like this. And then like I could like that mare would go to bucking if I pushed her too hard. And then I'd soften her up and then trot her and pick her back up. And then she'd be real nice. And then like 2 minutes later, I could lean into her and she'd get all pissed off again. She was a great demo model. Like I didn't have to get on and off a bunch of horses. I could just be like, here, watch me on this horse. She's gonna have a problem, and then I'm gonna fix it. I had a couple horses like that over the years. They're typically horses that I got for pretty inexpensive. It had already had just a horrible history of stuff. And I got them better and all that, but there's the problems are still inside those horses. It's not like they forgot that they broke 6 hitching rails in their life. They maybe don't want to pull back a lot, but they've never forgotten it. So anyway, Thursday night, 7 p.m. Come join us. I'll be in the studio. We'll be talking about all things horses, planning your year out for 2026. And don't forget early bird specials going by the wayside Thursday as well. So we've had a bunch of last minute people signing up, but that's, you're like, Steve, why do you keep telling people? It's like, I am that person and I'm so busy that I just forget. I have a good intentions, and then next thing you know, I got 10 things I need to remember, and I can only remember 2 of them, and then I forget and I forget. So just some reminders. Be like, yo, people, if this is on your list, this is your reminder, just so you don't miss it. All right. It's important. If it's important to you, right? I like to do stuff that's important to me. Like today, I started a new project. I been waiting on it and like, oh, I'll get to it in the spring. Well, hell, it was spring today. It was 40 degrees outside, and I don't think it froze last night. It didn't. It's probably not going to freeze tonight. It's going to be 40 tomorrow, so I'll probably be out there again working on it and just getting out ahead of things. So, all right. Well, me and this little dude are probably going to head on out. Oh, we got a call coming in here. Let's see here. We probably don't need to answer that. All right. Well, I reckon we will